As the saying goes, everything that can go wrong does go wrong. This franchise is cursed, no doubt about it. Everything from the owner to the GM down is a mess.
What's going on, guys? It's Cal here for Buffalo Sports Center. Today we are going to be discussing just how soft this Buffalo Sabres team is. Of course, everybody's talking about it. I figured I'd have to make a video on it. I tried to put it off as long as possible, but there hasn't been a reaction, and I am filming this video right before the game against the Columbus Blue Jackets. But first, we got to take a look back at the Sabres' last game against the New Jersey Devils. Now, the Devils did end up losing that game, but the biggest thing from that game was the hit on Tage Thompson. And I'm going to be putting some pictures right here of the injury to Tage Thompson. He is out tonight against the Blue Jackets due to these head injuries, and it wasn't so much the hit. Again, the guy that hit him didn't get suspended, but there was a 5-minute penalty, so at least the league took some initiative on the hit. As you can see from those photos I put up, he hit him in the head area with the elbow. He extended it a little bit past the hit, but we got to talk about the biggest thing from this hit, which was the reaction. There was none. I mean, this was a group of guys who, this was supposed to be the year. We've had the same core for a while. How do you not stand up for a guy, especially one of your best players in Tage Thompson? That's what we'll be discussing in this video. I know everyone's going nuts about this. Let's start player by player, just the guys I think we have to worry about. First things, let's talk about Mattias Samuelsson. He was on the ice for this. All of a sudden, he has this lower body injury from blocking a shot, potential broken foot. It doesn't matter, though. I mean, you're out there. You're the biggest guy on the ice, him and Owen Power. There is no reason why Mattias Samuelsson should just stand there and do absolutely nothing. And again, you don't have to be a fighter. You don't have to be a tough guy. You have to stand up for your teammates, and that's something Samuelsson decided not to do. Again, he was the only guy out there with a letter on his jersey, an assistant captain. There is no reason why Mattias Samuelsson continuously gets away with this. And this was a blatant elbow to the face. Whether it was intentional or not, that has to draw a reaction from your team. Moving on to Owen Power, I mentioned him earlier too. Owen Power is a guy that has to stand up. I mean, you're out there on the ice. There's no reason why you don't step up and help out your guys. Owen Power has also been kind of categorized as one of those softer players. Again, I think his potential is through the roof. I still have a lot of hope for him, but more upset with Samuelsson wearing that A, not stepping up. Now let's switch over to Jason Zucker, a guy who could have done something about it and didn't. I've had nothing but good things to say about Jason Zucker throughout his tenure as a Buffalo Sabre so far, but man, I mean, as a veteran player and not even trying to cross-check a guy, not even trying to slash a guy after that happens, it's unacceptable. And what's even more unacceptable is his post-game interview. Again, I didn't want to dive into this, but I had to make a video. Everyone's talking about it. He says, well, we won the game. That doesn't matter. This is a team that's currently last in the East. Wins and losses mean nothing at this point, right? Unless we're going to win the last 30 games of the season and make the playoffs, it doesn't matter. So saying that you got a win and you didn't stand up for your teammate, that's not a good excuse whatsoever. The hilarious part is that you get that 5-minute power play because you don't retaliate and you give up a shorthanded goal. It's instant karma just like that. Moving on to the captain, Rasmus Dahlin. He said, oh, this can't happen again, this can't happen again. But under his leadership, it has happened over and over and over. That's something that cannot happen. And again, Dahlin wasn't on the ice, so you can't really blame him. But the fact that that's not instilled in this team is an absolute joke. Dylan Cousins, same sort of thing. Again, one of those tough guys who hasn't really been that tough this year. So, just to add him to the mix, he's someone that has to step up his physicality if he's not going to produce on the points stand front. And the last one thing I want to talk about is Lindy Ruff. Again, Lindy Ruff sounded off a little bit in the post-game conference, but a lot of players said he didn't even mention this incident on the bench. The Sabres did have a meeting earlier today to discuss this, but again, has Lindy Ruff gone soft? We got a video coming out about that a little bit later in the week, but let me know what you guys think about Lindy Ruff, because an old Lindy Ruff would be standing on the top of the bench screaming his head off. You would have never seen this from a group of Sabres players, but again, it looked very reminiscent of that Milan Lucic hit on Ryan Miller back in the day. Again, I vaguely remember that because of my age, but it's one of those things that just cannot happen, and it just proves that this group is not a team. And there's certain players on this team, like Samuelsson, who just, if you're not going to step up, you shouldn't be here. Especially a guy with a letter on your jersey and a guy who's inked down for another 5+ years. That cannot happen. Just absolutely cannot happen. I know, we could do the counter argument too, and there are guys on the bench that if they were on the ice, they would have went after a guy. Peyton Krebs, Zach Benson, but it shouldn't be the smaller guys that always go after people. These guys that have bigger frames, even if you're not a fighter, you have to use your physicality at some point. It's the NHL. Just absolutely disgusted with this team so far this year. But like I said, Sabres are about to play Columbus, so we'll see how that game goes. James Reimer in that, so we'll see how that goes. But thank you guys for watching this video. Leave a like. Comment your thoughts on this situation. Again, everyone's talking about it. You guys know more than me just how frustrated this franchise and all their fans are. It's really disgusting and going on year 14 of no playoffs. Thank you guys for watching, and peace out.